But anyway, so yeah. So Eddie Hearn wants to put together Canelo Alvarez against Nate Diaz and then Francis Ngannou against Anthony Joshua. Okay, so let's talk about those two fights. Let's talk about Nate Diaz against Canelo Alvarez first, because what are we talking about here? What? Canelo Alvarez is the best boxer in the world. Nate Diaz has no professional boxing. How? Okay, you know what I mean? A person who is never at a loss of words is kind of at a loss of words, because you're like, now Eddie Hearn knows what I know, which is that'll sell a lot of pay-per-views. That's for sure. That'll sell a lot of pay-per-views. But does anyone think that Canelo Alvarez or that Nate Diaz can beat Canelo Alvarez in any scenario other than Canelo Alvarez like getting shot on his way into the ring? Can you imagine if Nate actually won that fight? That would be so bananas. But like, I mean, come on, right? Come on. That's not going to happen, right? That is not going to happen. Canelo is going to beat the brakes off of Nate. And that's no offense to Nate. It's Canelo Alvarez. You have no professional boxing fights. Boxing is descending into, I mean, you want to know what this is? This is YouTube boxing culture now. That's what this is. The fact that they would even consider doing a Nate Diaz versus Canelo Alvarez fight is like YouTube boxing. The reason why Mayweather and Conor made sense is because Mayweather was basically retired. He was at the end of his career, and he's not a knockout artist. Like, everyone knew, like, Mayweather's not really someone who's going to, like, devastatingly punch Conor McGregor, because that's not how he fights. Or at least not how he fought by that point of his career. And you could kind of sell, like, Conor's right in the prime of his career, and yada, you could kind of sell that. Now you have the exact opposite. You have Canelo Alvarez, who's the best boxer in the world, who is a devastating puncher, an absolute murder machine. And then you have Nate Diaz, who's at the end of his career. It's the exact opposite scenario. Conor was in his prime in MMA, and he is coming over to boxing. Conor was the one that was considered to have power. Mayweather was not, and he was at the end of his career. Now you're flip-flopping. The guy who has no boxing experience at all is at the end of his career, and the guy who is the boxer has devastating power and is in the prime of his career. Dude, he's going to kick the living shit out of Nate, obviously. I mean, no offense. Nate's going to take that ass whipping, and then he's going to get paid. That's awesome. And I will certainly pay to watch it, and it'll be awesome. But what are we talking about? And then on the other side, you got Francis Ngannou against Anthony Joshua, and just like a straight up boxing match. And I like it, dude. I got to be honest. I like that fight. I like it a hell of a, I'll tell you, I like it, certainly not a small amount, because I'm comparing it to Francis Ngannou against Tyson Fury, which in my opinion is about the same as Nate Diaz against, Canelo Alvarez, right? Does anyone think that, seriously, does anyone think that Francis could beat Tyson Fury for real? Because I don't. I don't think there's any chance in a million years. I do think he could potentially beat Anthony Joshua, though. And here's the thing. If he beats Anthony Joshua, then you really got a Tyson Fury fight, right? Then you got a real Tyson Fury fight. And even if he doesn't win, who cares? At least it's a huge event, So, listen, I love all these guys. I love Francis Ngannou. I love, Anthony Joshua is kind of whatever. I don't dislike him, obviously, but I'm not like a fan. But I am a fan of Canelo Alvarez. I'm a fan of Nate Diaz, and I'm a big fan of Francis. So I'm in, dude. Get these guys some money.